Good evening, everyone. We are Group 14, and first I would like to introduce my group members. Semini, Asini, Hiruni are working for this assessment with me. Today, we will be presenting our organizational behavior diagnosis and intervention plan for the case study neural netless. Our analysis is based on a series of staged workplace images that capture escalating conflict and leadership failure. Using organizational behavior theories, we evaluated employee behavior, leadership conduct, ethical implications, and organizational systems. We also compared human judgment with AI-based interpretation to assess the reliability of artificial intelligence in diagnosing human behavior. Our goal is to present a clear diagnosis, justify key recommendations, and outline what the board must do to restore ethical leadership, psychological safety, and organizational stability. Next, I would like to move to slide 2. For task 1 and task 2, each group member independently analyzed all 9 images using organizational behavior theory. Then we discussed our interpretations and reached a consolidated group diagnosis. We also compared our findings with the AI OB doctor. Across the images, consistent behavioral patterns emerged, including obsessive supervision, emotional exhaustion, employee withdrawal, and escalating aggression. Importantly, these behaviors were not isolated incidents but repeated across multiple scenes, indicating a systematic organizational problem rather than individual employee failure. So I would like to hand over this presentation to Hiruni.
When talking about slide 3, is the human reliability and AI. When comparing human judgment with AI interpretation, we found some agreement. Both recognize work stress, conflicts, and declining morale. However, significant differences emerge. The AI focused primarily on surface level stress and generic conflicts, while human analysis identified leadership abusive power imbalance, and ethical violence. This highlights a key limitation of AI: it lacks contextual, emotional, and moral reasoning. As a result, AI can support observation, but it cannot replace human judgment in diagnosing complex organizational behavior. When talking about slide 4, invention plan. In the escalated confrontation scene, leadership failed to de-escalate conflict. Public criticism and limitations increases fear and emotional strain. Ethical leadership would require private feedback, emotional regulation, and supportive communication. In the second critical scene involving physical aggression, leadership completely lost control. Immediate Intermediate removal, disciplinary action, and employee support should have occurred. These scenes demonstrate that the organization lacked effective conflict management, emotional intelligence, and ethical leadership frameworks. Semini.
And now I talk about termination recommendations. Based on our analysis, we recommend immediate removal or termination of Mr. Albert. His sustained abusive supervision and escalation into unsafe behavior represent a serious breach of duty of care. We also recommend reviewing job promotion. Although technically competent, her aggressive behavior was rewarded, reinforcing toxic norms. She should be removed from leadership and provided with development. These decisions are not punitive but necessary to restore ethical leadership and protect employee well-being. Now I talk about slide 6. The observation study itself raises serious ethical concerns. Employees were monitored covertly without informed consent, constitution dispassion. These created this created a power imbalance and violent principle of autonomy and psychological safety. Responsibility lies with both Dr. Elena Voss and the board of approving this method. While diagnostics intent excited, the approach caused harm, increased mistrust, and reinforced fear-based control. Ethical leadership requires transparency, proportionality, and safeguarding employee well-being. Asini?
Thank you. So let's go to the slide 7. Final organizational diagnosis. Our final diagnosis is that neural netless is experiencing systematic organizational failure. The core issues includes abusive leadership, breakdown of psychological safety, employee burnout, and weak ethical governance. Employee behavior should be understood as a response to these conditions rather than individual misconduct. Without structural and leadership reform, these issues will continue to damage performance, retention, and organizational reputation. Let's go to the slide 8. We're going to talk about final message to the board in this slide. In conclusion, this case demonstrates that technology and performance pressure cannot replace ethical, human-centered leadership. The board must enforce leadership accountability, restore psychological safety, and strengthen governance structures. Sustainable organizational performance depends on trust, transparency, and ethical leadership. Addressing these issues now is critical to preventing long-term organizational decline and restoring a healthy workplace culture. Thank you.